Hello, world. How are we doing?
Hello.
Woo! I told them a wonderful joke right before we went on. He's chuckling about that for a while. Right, well, skeptical raccoons back in the house. It's been 2 weeks. How you be, Skepti? How life?
I'm good. I I work is going really well. I just started a new job about a month ago. Just got assigned to a team, so I start with them on Monday. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
feeling pretty good.
Good. You've finally getting some work in then.
Yes,
Some much desired and needed work.
indubitably.
Hello, Michael Howard, the wonderful artist. How is the life? We're actually just chatting on Discord previously. Name drop.
Excellent.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, how's the wife? How's the life? How's the dogs?
Wife and life is good. Dogs are good. Tycho's as butthead as he ever is. The usual.
Oh, Tycho. What a wonderful doggo.
Glad the wife is doing good, Michael. We're doing good. Actually,
Hmm.
Gypt is going to need some moral support today, so I'm glad that you're here.
Am I? Am I going to?
Yep.
This is news to
Because you're
me.
going to win so much, it's going to go straight to your head, and then you're going to lose a
Well,
lot, and then you're going to get angry.
mm,
So that's how
mm,
today is going to go. So you need the moral support for part two, really.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Once your ego kind of inflates
I'll need
to new heights.
someone to capture all that air as it deflates out of my head.
Exactly.
Yeah. And possibly someone to put bricks down on my head so, instead of just raising up and going away from the entire screen, I'm still there.
Yes.
Something like that.
That's why you're in a closet. It actually kind of helps contain.
It does. Helps contain a lot of
Yes.
things. Oh,
All
it's
right.
wonderful for the acoustics. I barely hear the traffic outside anymore. We doing sealed or open for decks?
Uh, I haven't looked at those decks since I scanned them and added them in.
That's still
So
that's
80% of them still don't have the things verified,
Oh,
the icons
neither do
verified.
mine. Well then, I think we should let's go sealed and dark tidings.
Dark tidings. Yum.
Yum. All right, yeah, I need to watch. There we go. See, this is what happens. 2 weeks. I forget everything and then I have to relearn it. It's like picking up. Ooh, actually, the worst game to ever pick up after leaving for a long time. That was a question. Phrased poorly.
Can you say it again? I'll be honest, I was looking something up and reading it at the same time that you were saying that.
The worst game to leave for a few months and then come back to just
League
to
of
try to
Legends.
finish. Why League
Because
of
you should
Legends?
never go back to that.
Oh, never again. Was scarred one too many times. I'm losing my mind here.
Yes.
I was gonna say Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh man, I started that.
Oof.
That is fair point. I never actually finished that one. I would probably have to start it entirely over.
Yeah, it's a rough one to leave behind. I got most of the way through it and then left it. Was told by someone I was almost finished with it, so I tried to go back in to finish it and just didn't know what was going on. I didn't know the buttons. Couldn't figure out how to get things rolling, how to get basically use my character. Like I got
Hmm.
that good and that far somehow. It must have been a decent enough build.
Yeah, you figure it out. I mean, just in putting time in, and then you take the time off and you forget everything that you learned. So you're like, I do that where I come back in an RPG. I'm like, what was I building? And then I start building random stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like two
Right.
months later, I realized why I was building
Well,
what I was building.
that's why that space was empty for so long. I was waiting to build this on it. Damn it.
Yep. What grades did the pirate get on his report card?
Arr.
7 C's.
That's actually a good
I
one.
found this
That's a
website
good
and I
one.
am going to live here now.
That is a very good one. I think I have an app for that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna
look
get
at you, young and up with the times. Okay.
a.
Way to make my age show.
Oh, I was gonna get a brain transplant, but I changed my mind.
I cannot join your game, by the way.
Why? Oh, there you go.
Apparently, I had to spam click join, so
Oh, oh, there might be some
figured it out.
might be some ping issues with the site today. We were noticing that before.
Might be a
So
little bit slow.
a little bit on the slow side. Oh dear.
Indeed.
No, I don't like it when it's on the slow side, do you, precious? Oh.
All right.
That is also, I do
Oh
believe,
my
if I ever
goodness.
did an elf or a fairy of some kind, I would put that voice to it. Oh, hi everyone. Why are you in my land? Oh no. Please.
Now, like a fairy or a fae?
Like a fairy, a small fairy. If I were to ever play small fairy, it would give it a voice like that and make it like this timid and cowardly creature that is actually a wizard. So, very, very powerful.
Goes to like shout out spells and it's like,
Fireball! Boom! Oh, what's my hand here? Oh, I don't have anything going on. Okay, hang on. Should we fix the background noise here? It's just dead quiet, and I'm realizing this now.
Oh, it is dead quiet.
It's so dead
I
quiet.
mean, aside from your lovely voice, but
Oh, thanks.
uh,
Oh my. Yes, I have a delightful voice. Let's try that. I think I got the volume set just perfectly. Maybe. It might be a bit too loud. We'll go down there. Okay. Right.
alrighty.
There
So I'm
we
going
go.
first, huh?
Yes, you would be.
No,
Oh.
the game doesn't normally have sound.
Yeah, it's usually quiet. What
Although
is
I should record
this?
sounds for this. I'm gonna clone this site and make sounds, and it's gonna be like whoop, whoop whenever you play the cards. And then when they destroy your creatures, there'll be some like
The Wilhelm
obscenities
scream.
that get shouted out. Something make it
Ah!
feel like you're really there.
Ah!
Yeah,
Ah!
add the Wilhelm.
Right, I need
I
5
wonder how
little
much
oofs
that
and
that
5 big oofs.
I wonder how much it costs to use that sound.
It's actually copyright free. Or at the very least, if you have
Why are
something
we
like that.
not using that?
Because we previously didn't have a soundbite for it. I'm going to keep the sound. I haven't even read this card yet.
Try to adjust the volume. What? I will use it in D&D.
I would totally use that in D&D. I would use the
Excellent.
living crap out of that in D&D. So, actually, little thing, I've been playing around with some different sound systems and soundboard things, and one of them that I'm looking at actually has the Wilhelm scream. So this is how I know the Wilhelm scream is usable to a degree. There might be little variations. Oh,
All right.
oh. Shoot. I still haven't read this card.
All right. I'm gonna raise me the tide.
Oh, wow.
I prefer high tide. And I'm going to gain 3 amber if the tide is high.
You. Why?
Ta-da! Because of reasons.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, right. That's a weird card. I I don't know if I fully understand it yet, but it's there. Okay. Oh, that's interesting enough. Well, fine. I will go unfathomable. I'm gonna play abandoned ship. There's really nothing to it. Just returns creatures to owner's hands. But I didn't really have any, so meh. I will play Cope. Coop. 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 Keep. You can only play one card of each card type. Action, artifact, creature, or upgrade on your turn.
That is actually kind of a giant pain in the booty.
And I'm going to put down Cyphus. Hazardous 4, destroyed if the tide is high. Archive Cyphus. There you are.
Ooh. I'm going to go Sanctum. And play me a Bulwark.
Ooh, gross. Oh dear. That is indeed. Well, I will go Sanctum. I will play Grand Melee. Destroy each creature that does not share a house with at least one of its neighbors.
I don't believe in neighbors now!
I should have played that first. I'm going to hold on to it. General Salvador. Just a big ol' enhancy person. And the Gatekeeper to the left. I would capture, but you don't have enough ember for me to capture, so that doesn't happen. As it will be
You
my
have
turn.
shut me down so hard.
From the get-go.
I'm going to go Shadows, play
Oh.
Jackie Tar. Yes, from the get-go.
Ooh, that's rough.
Let's see. I'm also going to discard Monty Bank. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Finally.
Okay. Really, that's a thing. Apparently that is a thing. Very good. Well, we are going to... Yeah. We're going to go Unfathomable. And we're going to attack your elusive to get rid of it. Use Siphon to attack and kill. Put down the Flame Gill Enforcer on the right. There we go. I will stun each cyborg creature and robot creature. I don't think there are any. But I get an ember for that.
Nice.
And then I'm going to, for the hell of it, raise the tide.
Raise the tide. I'm going Unfathomable. First thing I'm going to do is put each creature on top of its owner's deck in a random order.
Oh, snap. No.
Then I'm going to play Volocanth. While the tide is low, Volocanth cannot be used. Fight Reap, exhaust enemy creature and each of its neighbors.
Oh dear.
Let's see. Flamegill Enforcer on the right.
Crap.
And Wicolia on the right.
Oh dear.
Then I'm going to play General Sherman. General Sherman deals no damage when fighting. Play Purge each other creature. If General Sherman leaves play, return to play each creature that purged this way.
Oh. Big fish.
Big fish.
Big
That is the end of my
fish.
turn.
Okie dokie. That is a turn. That is a very large and scary turn, indeed. Very, very large. All right, so Untamed. I will play Persistent Hunting and choose a house and exhaust all creatures at that house. And then put down the Mysticeti. Mysticeti? Action. Exhaust
Oh,
one
it's
or
a
more
ship.
friendly untamed creatures. If you do, give the Mysticeti 3+1 power counters for each creature exhausted this way and move it anywhere in your battle line as a creature with 0 power and taunt. So it basically gets played.
So it gets as many power or as much power as creatures that you exhaust, untamed creatures that you exhaust.
Oh, okay. That's the part I didn't understand. I do now. That's my
Yes.
turn. Rebuttal.
All right, I'm gonna go Sanctum.
Sanctum. What a delight.
Ooh,
This music's far too calm. I should go to...
I'm gonna play Seneschal, Seneschal Sargassa on the left.
Very good.
Play down our Bulwark on the left,
Delightful.
and Lorry the Lake on the left.
Mm-hmm.
That is the end of my turn.
That's a lot of creatures. That is a whole lot of creatures. Well, TARDIS high, each friendly creature gains +2 armor. Very good. Very, very good. Right, we're going to go Sanctum. We're going to play Hammergram. We are going to deal 3 damage to that guy and kill it instead of stun it. Because that's just annoying.
Oof.
Then we will play Gatekeeper down.
Hola, Gatekeeper.
And that will be my turn.
All right, I'm gonna go Sanctum again.
Mm-hmm.
Going to play Marshal Ewer, whose play fight raise the tide.
Mm.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm going to capture 2 of your amber as per Seneschal Sargassa.
Yeah.
You'll definitely kill him, but you'll take 3 damage. You know what? We're gonna reap once and keep the battle line under control.
Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Right. We're gonna go Unfathomable. We'll put down a Flamegill Enforcer. They will capture one. And a Corp on the right.
Ooh.
And hope they survive. That's my turn. Let's see what happens.
Gonna go Shadows. Going to play Seeker Needle. Going to, let's see. We're going to mug General Sherman,
Remember, you
which
can only
is
do
deal
one
2 damage to a
target each time.
creature. Oh, son of a biscuit. I did it in the wrong order. No! Thank you. That is awkward.
Awkward. Right, okay, interesting. Okay, right. Well, we are going to go Unfathomable. We are going to... action it up. Capture 3. Reap. Play Cyphus. And a Photic
Cyphus.
Raider.
Ooh. While the tide is high, Photic Raider gets +4 power. Ooh.
Indeed. That is my turn.
Well, now I'm going to go Sanctum. First things first, while the tide is high, I'm going to play Strange Ordination and gain 3 Amber.
Ooh.
We are going to use Bulwark to fight against Kaup. Kills him with Assault.
Yep.
We use Senor Sargassa to fight against Photic Raider. And then we will give shoulder armor to Marshal Ewer, giving him
Yikes.
+2 power and +2 armor.
Okay, nay.
Who is going to fight against Flamegill Enforcer.
Golly.
Oh, wow. I actually didn't even read this, but this worked out super well. We're going to play Grand Melee. Play, destroy each creature that does not share a house with at least one of its neighbors.
By the gods.
So we're going to throw down my
I
3
need a board
beasties.
wipe. I desperately need a board wipe.
I probably should have still kept that in the pocket because that would have been really good for one of your board wipes. I shouldn't have done that to myself.
We're still even on
And that is the
phone.
end of my turn. Check. I can forge.
Hey, guess what? Sanctum. Doorstep to heaven. Everyone discard down to 5 Ember. Then I'm going to play Cleansing Wave. Heal 2 of your boys a little bit and take some for my own. Then I'll do Radiant Truth and stun each creature not on flank and play General Zalvador.
Hello, Mr. General Person.
That is my turn. Check I can forge. Ah,
Ooh.
it's not gonna last long. That was last ditch effort probably.
Well, I don't think there's anything that I can do to you.
Oh, there are
Nope, I
plenty of
cannot
things
stop
to
your
do.
forge. So we're going unfathomable.
Okay.
First, I'm going to reap to exhaust General Zalvador and each of his neighbors.
Ouch.
Remove the stuns from these 2 boys.
Ouch.
Then we play Seabringer Kikoa.
Ouch.
We play a Guiltspine Netcaster whose reap exhausts a creature. And another Flamegill Enforcer on the right. Then we're going to play Portal. If the tide is high, archive Portal and gain 1 Amber. That is the end of my turn. I don't know, I'm pretty skeptical there, Mr. Michael Howe Arts. I've been in this position before where he still just sweeps the floor with me, so I won't know until I'm forging my 3rd game.
Okie dokie, artichoke. Perfecto. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's not too. That's just annoying in the future. That one though, should probably die as soon as possible. Right, Sanctum. First things first, I'm gonna bring hey, Guiltspine Netcaster, you've got a hammergram. You die.
Goodbye.
Boy. Then Lightsmith. Clariel. That's it. There we go. Got it eventually. And hey, Grand Melee. No one dies, but I do capture an Ember.
That's a pretty cool card.
It is. That's my turn.
Portuguese, huzzah, we're going unfathomable. We're going to put Under Pressure. Oh, actually, yes, I'm going to take my archives into my hand. We're going to play Portal again.
Great.
Then I'm going to play Under Pressure. This creature cannot ready onto Lightsmith Clariel.
Great.
Who
Delightful.
then needs to get exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Going to reap to exhaust Lightsmith Clariel and each of his neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go ahead and reap down the line.
Mm-hmm. 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 Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Check I can forge.
You sure can. You yep.
I cannot actually.
You can.
Or is
it's
this...
only during my turn.
Gotcha.
It's your Wicolia. You reaped with it, so. Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh. This is going great. We're gonna play down some piranha monkeys. On the right. Deal some damage.
Everyone takes damage.
Well, my boys have
Man,
armor.
that's an OG. That's an OG Untamed card.
Yeah, it is. It's been around for a long time. Then we're gonna put down the Mookleen on the right. Your keys cost +2 per power on that animal.
That's X. We're at Mookleens power.
yeah. X is power.
I got you.
Words, English. We'll do persistent
Hard.
hunting, and we're gonna choose unfathomable. Exhaust them all. And then we're gonna give our boys some fitness training, and give them all +1 power.
Oh, nice.
Okay. That's it. That's my turn. Oh, I think this is going to be yours in the end, but I'm gonna give it a hell
Going
of a
to
fight.
go. Going to go shadows. Going to play cement shoes. Deal 2 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, raise the tide to deal 2 damage to Mookling. Then we're going to use Secret Needle to deal 1 damage to Mookling and kill him, so I gain 1.
Yep.
Then we're going to play the Shadow Council on the left, who has a capture 1. Huzzah! I'm gonna put that on to Sebring and Kakoa. Then I'm going to do Mug. I'm going to Mug Sebring and Kakoa to move that Amber from Sebring and Kakoa to my pool and deal 2 damage to him. Then we're going to play Gas Pipes Malone on the left. And that is the end of my turn. Check again, I can forge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unfathomable. This is the only thing I can do to possibly bring this shit out of nowhere. Maelstrom. Put each creature on top of its owner's deck at random order. It's a kind of board wipe. But they're all gonna come out again.
I mean, it is a board wipe.
Yes, but you have both your keys now.
Just
so
much
I need
more
to steal
short
an Ember.
term.
I need to steal Ember. As quickly as possible. I'll put down some bubbles. And I'm gonna put down a horrid siren thingy. That's my
All
turn.
right.
That's all I can
I'm gonna
do.
forge red and play shadows. Let's see here. Going to play Old Bruno. Oh, play Old Bruno to capture 3. Then we're going to play One-Eyed Willa on the right. Play Monty Bank on the left, who we're not going to exalt at all, but instead use Secret Needle to deal 1 damage to Monty Bank to gain an Amber. That is the end of my turn. Check I can forge.
Right, Untamed. We're gonna put down piranha monkeys.
Not the piranha monkeys.
Not the piranha monkeys. The their thing. Then we will use. We will assert my dominance. Use it on bubbles and make them fight your old Bruno, who has elusive, so nothing actually happens. Then we're gonna
Woo.
put... Moogling. We're doing our best. Even though I've lost all of my ember.
You have another freaking Moogling.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm gonna go shadows.
Yeah, that's it.
Going to use old Bruno to fight against Moogling. And I'm going to plink away at Piranha Monkeys. Check I can forge.
I want to say that I did it. I'm going to use the mystique. And yeah, sure, that's where it goes.
3 power, that's pretty cool. How the heck did he get 3 power counters?
He gets 3 power counters per each one that I exhaust, and I only exhausted 1. So if I have a line of Untamed and I exhaust them all, he could be one hell of a powerful creature.
I didn't realize
cool card.
It was 3 per exhausted. Yeah, I thought it was 1 per exhausted. That is cool.
3 per. Pretty cool card.
That's nice.
Pretty cool card. It is an absolute pity that it couldn't get used correctly. Good job. Look at that. Michael Howe, he may have been right. I may need some moral support today. He just came in and wrecked.
Oh. Only took me like 2 months.
Wait, how long have we been playing this game?
Don't even say it's taken me 2 years to win. That was long at the... Oh. I mean...
No, it's
since we've been streaming, since it's been public, since it's been, since other people can witness what's happening and catch me in my lie of I win every game.
This is the first. This is the first. Definitely the first one we've done where I haven't won the first game. I think, maybe.
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Oh my goodness. Good. You want to talk about TV for a minute?
TV. I'm trying to think of a quick quip for that, but I can't. So yeah, let's talk about TV.
I'll wait. So we watched the first 2 episodes of Foundation, right?
Yeah. Good show.
Pretty excited for that. Yeah, that airs on Fridays.
Absolute delight.
But yeah, that's George Lucas took a lot of inspiration from that to write Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I'm excited to see where it goes. But it's a sci-fi that's kind of brutal, and I've waited so long for that. It's an adult Star Wars without lightsabers.
Without lightsabers, with a lot of math.
So these are all. I got a free trial of Apple TV, and after the first week, I was happy to pay for the month. They have a show C, which essentially everyone in the world has gone blind. Like humanity just lost sight. And then there's some people that are born with sight. So there's still, I think the world's down to like hundreds of thousands, maybe very like minimal millions of people. So like very few people. But it's really interesting. It has a lot of big actors like Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista was in season 2. Yeah. So another pretty cool one to check out. Very interesting world.
Peculiar.
Sorry, space sci-fi. Dude, I'm actually really impressed with Apple. They don't have a whole lot. Like they have maybe 50 shows tops, maybe. It's probably close to like 35. But what they have is really good quality. Another one is For All Mankind. And so essentially the premise is Russia beat the US to the moon. And so then the US is like, all right, we need to, try and catch our space program up so that we can get to the moon as quickly as possible. Russia then lands a woman on the moon, like a female astronaut for the first time. So Russia's getting all these like really big wins in space. And so then America's like, all right, fine. Like we'll beat them to setting up like a moon base. And so we set up a moon base, and it's just the whole story of, from like Russia first landing on the moon and like America just feeling defeated at this time. I think it was like during the Cold War, right? That we landed on the moon.
The history of that
Was that
time era is
60s?
not that good. Yeah, it was 69.
So really, really interesting show. It's just I enjoyed the alternate reality take on just the moon landing. It's really interesting, and like how that prompted, like the story they tell, how that prompted the U.S. to like put a base on the moon first. So it kind of propelled our space program, because like you look at us now, and our space program is pretty stagnant after that. NASA's funding got like massively chopped. Like the government funding for a space program was massively chopped to like less than 1% instead of the like 4 or 5% that they had. So yeah, it's just interesting. So if you ever want to waste some hours, there's 3 really good TV shows for you.
Waste some hours or... No, yeah,
Invest
really invest.
some hours
invest.
in your imagination.
I'm sure there's something you can definitely learn from any of those kinds of programs, like human behavioral pattern stuff.
In Foundation, maybe.
Maybe. There's also
Really,
in your whole description there was like this hidden little message of Apple TV doesn't have very many shows, maybe like 50 or 35. I feel like that should be encaptioned with first world problems. It was like,
Third World does have Netflix. So
okay, then there would be
is it a
acceptable
first
as
world problem? Definitely feels like a third world or first world problem. Hopefully not a third world problem.
Oh,
I haven't eaten in 3 weeks, and dang it, there's not a new episode of this space show.
shut up. Could have eaten, but I paid for Netflix. We should move on.
Indeed.
We should carry on to a different
Yes.
subject there.
What kinds of pictures do hermit crabs take?
Ooh. Shellfish ones?
Yeah, they take shelfies. That was good.
Shellfies. That's good. That's good. Why can't you use beef stew as a password?
Beef stew is a password. The logic in me wants to say because there's no numbers, uppercase character, or special characters. Did I just kill you?
Because
Beef stew.
I actually really like this one. Because it's not stroganoff.
Oh, that's a good one. Because it's not stroganoff.
It's not stroganoff. Almost mistakable as a genuine mistype. Oh my gosh.
Why did the coffee call the police? Because it got mugged.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's good. That's good. Why couldn't a lifeguard save the hippie?
Why couldn't a lifeguard save the hippie?
Yeah.
I don't know this one.
It's too far out, man.
Oh my gosh. Good, excellent delivery.
Thanks.
That was good.
Oh man,
Ah,
those kind of jokes are the best.
yes. All right, I've got a topic for after the next game. I don't want to blow my topic.
Topic list.
I'm just gonna
I'm
leave it there. Yeah, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. We have the stream tagged as adult, right?
They're all tagged as adult. They're all that way.
Excellent.
You never know what some, especially when you've got Ethan hosting a show like Hey Laugh Love. I mean, if oof, oh boy, wonderful show by the way. You should check that out every other Friday at 5 or 6 p.m. Check the socials for the actual timing. Not this week though. This week is shenanigans.
Yes. Shenanigans.
We've got Here Be Shenanigans with Ben as the host again.
Oh my gosh. This one made me internally groan. What do you call a large African mammal with long hair and sandals?
A giraffe.
Nah, it's a hippopotamus. I internally groaned at that one. I shouldn't have read it. Oh, I think that is the one way that I am beyond prepared for parenthood or fatherhood.
You've got a ton of really cheesy jokes.
I love cheesy jokes, so I'm ready to make my children groan with, you know, displeasure and sadness. That looks like Gads is home. This
Don't-
one's excited.
Don't the dogs already groan with pleasure of or sadness?
Tycho does. Yes. Artemis just forces cuddles. It's really not a groan or a sound. It's just
Cuddle me.
you will cuddle.
You're doing important stuff? Okay, I be cat now and climb on your lap really inconveniently and sit down and pout until you pet me. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, he's so,
So excited.
excited. Arr. Oh, they're both so happy. So the white dog's name is Artemis, and the one in the back is Tycho. Tycho can be a little loud sometimes. He likes to talk, but that's just him. That's his nature. He's a loving dog. He likes to cuddle and hug and rest his head on your lap as you sit and watch TV. Right, you ready to continue wiping the floor with my face?
No, I'm ready for your ego to build. Actually,
Oh, you're prepping yourself to lose.
honestly, it's because what I'd stated earlier isn't coming to pass, and so I'm gonna cheer for that until it does because I can't be wrong.
Oh,
No, okay,
it's
not
happened.
like this.
Not like this. Not like this. Oh no. No. Oh, looks like I'm going first this time.
Huzzah!
Interesting.
I'm gonna keep this hand. I wish I was going first.
What the what? I don't know if I want to keep this hand or get rid of it. Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll keep this hand. We're gonna go untamed.
How's our input looking?
Oh, terrible. I'm completely forgetting to go to the right screen. Here we go.
This guy.
I know, this guy. He's just failing at the one thing he's supposed to be doing here.
No, it's just it's your own style, and you know what? You demand respect for that, Chipped.
I'll get there when I want to get there, man. Come on.
Exactly. It's all on purpose, and everyone else can, you know.
Oh dear. Right, we're gonna put down Shalonia. Shalonia is elusive.
Lanya?
Tide effect. After you play another creature in the if the tide is high, gain 1. That's
Ooh.
my turn. Opening move. Your turn.
Your turn was pretty cool, man.
It
I'm
was
gonna
pretty
go
cool. You're going to
Logos.
kill him, aren't you?
Nope, I'm just gonna draw 5 cards and end my turn.
What? Omega,
Yep.
draw 5 cards. That's dope. Well,
Archon's callback.
that's interesting. We're gonna go ahead and go Logos. First, we're gonna play
He's gonna go Logos.
Submersive Principle because we just want to get it out of our hand. We lose Ember. If the tide's high, we lose half our Ember. Then
Not the amber.
put down a Rooftop Laboratory. It is not a fact. Each friendly scientist creature enters play ready. We're going to put down a big
That's pretty cool.
Bilge Warden. Play Reap. If the tide is high, your opponent raises the tide. Otherwise, you raise the tide. On the left, there's a scientist. Comes in play ready. Right, and then there's another Bilge Warden on the left. And then we're going to Reap.
Woohoo!
And then
No!
And then we're going to Reap.
Woo!
I changed the tide so many times.
So many times.
And we are going to actually raise the tide again. Because, you know, why not?
Alright, we're gonna go Sanctum. First and foremost, I am going to raise the tide. To play Strange Ordination and gain 3 Amber.
Oh dear.
I drew a card. Oh, wow, I gained 3 Amber and drew a card from that. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Then we're going to play Bulwark, who he himself will capture 1. We're going to play Barrister Joya on the left. Enemy creatures cannot reap.
That's
Herbivore on the left. And we're gonna play the Gray Augur. Fight each of Gray Augur's neighbors gain 1 Ember. Can place them on the right. Then we're going to play a Sanctum creature from your discard pile anywhere in your battle line. I have nothing in my discard pile. We're gonna move a friendly creature anywhere in your battle line. Oh, that creature captures 1. Huzzah! Well, we're gonna move Gray. The Gray Boy is going to move to the left of Bulwark.
This is good. This is rough.
And that is the end of my turn.
Right, we're gonna go Untamed. We're gonna do all tides up. If the tide's not high for me, I raise it. If it was, I just gained an Ember. We'll put down an Old Paddy on the right. Old Paddy is Reap, so I can't do it yet. Discard the bottom card of your deck, or the bottom 3 cards instead if the tide is high. Play each creature discarded this way, 1 at a time. And then the Fittest. Give all my boys more power. Power!
More power!
And that is it. That is my turn. That is all I do. That's because that is all I can do. What is this?
Oh, we're going back to Sanctum. Going to play Taxing Journey. A friendly creature captures 1 Amber. Each of its neighbors that shares a house with it also captures 1 Amber. On to Barrister Joya. Then we're going to use Bulwark
I need a board wipe.
to fight against Bilge Warden. And Barrister Joya to fight against Bilge Warden.
Delightful.
And then I'm going to Reap and Reap. check I can forge. Good
There's
lord.
absolutely nothing I can do about that.
And I'm going to raise the tide.
Of course you would. Of course you would. Mm-hmm.
Checkaroo.
Yep. Unfathomable. It's the only thing I can do. Do 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 do. We will put down a frigorific rod. Right there. Action, exhaust a creature or artifact. We will put down a bubbles on the right. Put the grey auger back in on top of your deck.
Jesus.
Oh, jeez. The dogs are attacking each other. Delightful.
They're just playing, but it is loud.
And a hookmaster on the right. Oh boy!
Oh, you. Oh, they massacred my boy.
No, he's on top of your deck.
He's been massacred.
Right. That's a... You know what? I should have raised that before I played all those creatures. I would have had so much more ember. Misplays alert!
Oof.
Forge your key!
All right.
Ooh, this is not a
Well.
Ember Steely deck.
Hmm.
Alright.
Oh, goodness. Fight, reap, exhaust an enemy creature and each of its neighbors. Oh, that's not cool. Well, I'm going to go Logos and play Static Charge. This creature gains at the start of your turn. Deal 2 damage to each of this creature's neighbors.
Delightful.
Going to go onto Bubbles.
Oh. Good, good. Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Let's
see.
Lame.
Well, it was not useful, if that makes you feel any better. We're going to play an Old Egad on the right, who is destroyed, ward each of Old Egad's neighbors. Oh. Let's see. We're on the first key. Why not? Gonna play Eddie 4x4 to archive a card. Let's see, we each have 2, 4, 5 creatures, huh? Well. I'm going to end the turn there.
Right. Unfathomable. We're going to use our frigorific rod to exhaust your Barista Joya. Then we are going to do Call of the Void. Exhaust a creature. If it was already exhausted, destroy it instead, and its controller loses 1 ember.
Nice.
Boom, sickle. Now I can reap. Yay! Oh, I've spent most of this game unable to reap because you brought that out your second turn. It's been a bit rough. It's been a bit of a rough start. Okay, what's this one? Oh, look at that. The Susurrus. Artifact, action, exhaust a friendly unfathomable creature. If you do, exhaust up to 3 creatures and or artifacts. That's cool. Okay. We will reap with... Oh, no. None of your boys can kill him, can they? That's lame. That's okay. We're going to fight with Bubbles. against him. We are going to... Sure, yeah. Fight with the Hookmaster against your Herbivore. No damage dealt to each people, but you do lose 2 Ember.
I lost 2 amber.
Yeah, then we'll reap
Ouch.
with this guy to exhaust Bulwark and his neighbors.
Oof.
Okay, check I can forge.
Yes, you can. I'm going.
Hi,
Sorry.
Zelda. Welcome to the end.
Hello, Zelda. Welcome, welcome.
He's beating me, Zelda. Oh, well, he's won already once.
I'm in a single game. And that's already more than I've won all year. All right, gonna play Axa or Siren Horn. Right? Oh, I don't want to take. Actually, screw it. I do want to take my archives into my hand. Yes.
Oh.
Gonna play Altruist Rostrum. Action move 1 ember from a creature to another creature. Going to play Siren Horn. This creature gains before fight. Move 1 amber from this creature to the creature it fights. Play that onto Herbivore. I get to capture an amber too. Excellent.
Good grief, and he drew a card.
I capture 1 on Old Egad. And then going to raise the tide. If the tide is high, a friendly creature captures 3. Herbivore is going to capture 3. Then we're going to exalt. Ready and use Herbivore to fight. Let's see. 5 armor, huh? Let's fight the Hookmaster. He has Assault 2.
Oh, crap.
That is the end of my turn.
Well, live in that, if that it were. English. It's a primary language of mine. Did you know that? Neither did I.
I did not.
We are going to go Untamed. First off, we're going to raise the tide. Second off, we're going to do some persistent hunting and exhaust Sanctum. Thirdly, we're going to put a Flumph down on the left here. And then we're going to put a Mushroom Man on the left here. Mushroom Man is currently at powerful. Because I don't have any keys forged yet. Isn't that delightful? Oh boy. Then we will reap with old Paddy, because he's almost dead. To play Talmage Steelheart on the right. Who has the effect go and play, because I've played a lot. That was a good card to find on that.
7 power, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Then we're going to reap with this guy. That is my turn. Check I can forge.
Yes, you
Probably
can.
not for long.
Go in Sanctum. Let's see. Gonna play down I don't know how to say this. Seneschal Sargassa on the right. And Grey Augur on the right. Let's do him on the left. Each of Grey Augur's neighbors gains fight, gain 1 amber. That is the end of my turn.
Good.
You forge your key.
I do. I forge a key. Well, now. Oh, he came into play ready. I should have reaped with him. That's awkward, because he's a scientist. No, he's not a scientist. Interesting. Okay. Right. Good. Swell. Yes. Dandy. Delightful. Wunderbar. We're gonna go unfathomable. Because quite frankly, Bubbles needs to die.
Bubbles?
Yes, Bubbles needs to die.
Why does Bubbles need to die?
Because Bubbles is killing everyone else. And
Bubbles he's
not
just
very
fine.
nice. It's not very nice, Bubbles. Okay?
Great
Right.
Bubbles.
Then we are going to use our Susurrus to exhaust a friendly unfathomable creature. If I do, exhaust up to 3 creatures and or artifacts. Yeah, use that. Exhaust him. 2, exhaust that one. That. And, yeah, sure, that one. Yep, there we go. Then we'll use this one to exhaust that one. Then we're going to put down a horrid siren on the left.
Look at this creature exhausted. Rip.
So tired.
So much exhaustion.
So much exhaustion. And a Spark Fist. Horrid Sin is just poisonous. Spark Fist is skirmish fight. Stun and exhaust the creature Spark Fist fights. On the left. And that is the turn. Check I can forge.
That you can. So, let's see. I'm gonna go Logos. I'm first going to raise the tide. Herbivore is going to capture all of it. We're going to destroy each creature. Each player draws a card for each creature destroyed this way.
What the snap?
Now each player loses half of their amber.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna forge a key at +7 current cost, reduced by 1 for each card you've played this turn, which is nothing. So that is the end of my turn.
Okay.
So I could not stop your second key, but I got that amber out of play,
You did.
which was nice.
Very, very good.
Although I also gave you 12 cards in your hand, so that's gonna bite
You
me in the
did.
butt right here, I believe.
Okay, yeah. I still don't have that one, okay. Well, shoot sticks and a biscuit full of applesauce. This is really, really, awkward. I have exactly 4 of each house. Of the 12 cards I have.
Excellent. So, pick your poison, my dude. Man, I need to put something over this window. Every time the sun sets here, it sets my hair ablaze. Let's see if I can get it to light up. Nope. We're not
Right.
quite at that time of day yet.
We're gonna go to Unfathomable. We're going to brain drain you and look at your hand.
Not
and
me
choose
brain!
one to put on top of your deck.
Did you notice that we have a funny little boy that you hated on your creatures?
What?
Oh, I have another static charge in my hand.
You do? You do! Goodbye. Alright, I'm gonna do that again.
That was nice.
Yep. That one needs to go bye-bye. And then we're going to do a portal, raise the tide for me, and a storm surge.
Portal.
During your next turn, you do not ready your cards.
Oh, nice.
That's my turn.
Well,
Oh,
we're going to
shit.
go Sanctum, play General Salvador, and we're going to move General Salvador anywhere in the battle line. I'm going to move it to the left of where he is and capture one.
Hmm.
And that is the end of my turn.
Good job. Good job. That was good. Yeah.
I don't know how I got freaking 7 chain. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's a lot of chain.
I don't remember raising the tide that much.
I have 3 chain and I don't remember how I got that. Right. We're gonna do Eureka. Gain 2 and archive 2. Was that random archive 2 random cards from my hand?
Let's
it was
read
random
it.
card. Okay, so I shit you
Archive
not.
2 random cards from your hand.
I shit you not. It archived the 2 cards I wanted to archive.
That is so lucky.
I got so lucky there.
You a chain smoker, Skepti?
Ooh.
No. I don't smoke.
What prompted that question?
Zelda. Do I sound like a I've been smoking for 47 years?
Oh shit.
Because you got so many chains. Oh my gosh.
Snap.
What the
yeah, so
fuck? You're giving me chain.
How am I giving you chain?
I don't know, but I'm getting freaking 3 chain a turn.
I don't know.
I swear I just saw I had 10 chain.
Well, just
I don't know. I might just be going nuts. What is happening right now?
I don't want them archived anymore.
Well, tough luck.
Oh.
You made your bed, now sleep in it.
Oh, well, that's okay. If we're gonna do an information exchange, I'm gonna steal one. If you stole from me last turn, I steal 2. I just got 1. I totally forgot that my scientist creatures come and play ready because of the rooftop laboratory. So Pi Sweven came in ready. The tide is high for me, so I got to draw 3 cards.
Nice.
Everybody, that's my turn. Check, I can forge.
Yes, you can. So we're gonna go on the right here.
Oh shit.
Magistravita, you may exalt him. Not sure if you do reap with it. Well, he's already exhausted.
Yep.
What is 3 more chain at the end of the game? Then we're gonna play Coronation Octavia. Going to reap with General Salvador. Actually, no, we're just going to exalt him. But I'm going to move 1 amber from each creature to... Oh my gosh, I should have done this first. Son of a biscuit. Ah.
Oh no.
GG's.
You can do anything about it. So
I had nothing to take your amber.
I got the wonderful combination again. I got the groundbreaking discovery. If you control Dr. Varocta, Rooftop Laboratory, and Reckless Experimentation, destroy each card in play, unforge the opponent's key, and purge groundbreaking discovery.
Oof.
It archived that one and Dr. Varocta.
That's perfect.
And I had Rooftop Laboratory in play. I was just waiting for the Reckless Experimentation, which I got after playing Pi Sweven. So I could have done all that in the same turn, but no. I did things in a different order.
Not this day.
Not this day. Not this day. Well,
Not this day.
that was a...
That was the start of Do you feel how good that feels?
That was a swing around.
I feel like that has a lot of different meanings to that phrase.
That
So let's
that,
find a different phrase.
that was a yeah, no, I don't know. Nah. It popped back around. It was like the. It didn't go that well on my end at the beginning. Like you were doing quite well, keeping things under control.
I honestly think so that card that I uh like deleted all creatures in play, and then we
Mm,
each draw a card for each creature in play. I had that in my hand for like 7 turns. And there was one time that I considered playing it earlier where we each had 5 creatures out. Um, and so that would have helped clean up your side of the battle line. Uh, and the fact that I didn't play that, I think that that's kind of what did it for me.
yeah, I think when you did play it, you gave me more things to play with because I drew 7 cards and I got a whole hand
Yes.
to play with, and I was able to plan turns ahead.
Yep, it is a good card if you have a lot of creatures.
Hmm.
I couldn't actually beat you in creatures. I couldn't get more creatures than you that whole game. You kept
Yeah,
out creaturing me.
I kept the pace up. Was able to play as many
In
creatures.
Indeed. All right. Do you like Marvel movies?
Yes, yes, Marvel movies are quite delightful. We need more.
Oh,
Here we go.
well, that's how my segue is. If you like Marvel, we're actually making a time crystal. So buckle up.
Oh, that's yes. The Infinity Stones are now being created in the real world because I mean, in every scenario, every story ever told, whenever humans or whenever living beings start fucking with the realm of the gods, that's when everything goes well, right? Like, there's no such thing as a cataclysm between the realm of the gods and the realm of the mortals. No, it's not almost how every D&D story starts.
But it could.
It actually is.
I wouldn't go so far as to say we're creating all of the Infinity Stones. That's a pretty hefty order.
Well, when you start with one, what's the next? What would the next be?
Actually, that's true. If you have a time crystal, technically you had all the time in the world to make the rest.
You would. And you would be able to access
Although
infinite realms to tap into the energy of. Although if you do something like that, you risk opening up a Bernstein bridge, which is like a interparallel bridge that can malfunction and destroy both realities.
I don't think that this time stone operates in that way.
No, it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. Otherwise, we'll need to get
For
Rob
those of you
UK up in here.
for those of you who don't know, Google has been working on a quantum computer for several years now. Shoot, if not a couple decades by now. But with more recent technology, they're actually creating a more powerful machine. And so it is our modern take on a quantum computer, which is still very, very early stage of life. But essentially, with Google's quantum computer, they've discovered a new state of matter, which was kind of mind blowing to me. Because we were taught there's four states of matter? There's like solid, gas, and liquid, or is it just those three? Is there another?
Plasma.
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 So 4 states of
It's a
matter.
different state of matter, yeah. Or plasma.
So with those 4 states of matter, we've discovered a 5th state of matter, which is essentially what they're referring to as a time crystal, which forever cycles between states without consuming energy, which is just, I'm really excited to see where this research and this technology leads, to see what the possibilities are. Of course, in my head, I'm thinking space travel. What we could do with something that creates that much energy just nonstop.
Something has to be going on the inside of that to be doing that.
That is so far beyond our understanding.
Like, what are the parameters?
We've
behind
just
it?
discovered that this thing exists. I don't think we have that much.
So wait, how did it discover it? Like, did it find it out in the wild, or did it just compute the probability?
No,
of
they
it existing?
they created it within the computer.
What?
I don't know how else to describe that. Actually, do you know how quantum computers work?
Apparently not. Let's do a little research. Quantum computer.
All right, so let's see if we can get just a
quantum.
basic.
Okay, so if they created it, how did it go out? Is it out, or was it still going? Is it just like this blob of who knows what the fuck this is?
So they've only kept it. Essentially, they only kept it in that state, like the crystal state or whatever, for like seconds. So it wasn't very long. But that's the first step, is discovering that it exists, and once it exists, then you can figure out how to manipulate it. So quantum computers perform calculations based on the probability of an object's state before it is measured, instead of just ones or zeros.
Huh.
I don't know if that's too technical. That might be a little bit too technical.
For me, not so much. Remember who raised me. Aerospace engineers. I'm not an aerospace engineer. Never will be.
Ooh, so rather than having a clear position, unmeasured quantum states occur in a mixed superposition, not unlike a coin spinning through the air before it lands in your hand. That's kind of a cool little mental image there.
Wait, was it a...
But yeah, just kind of...
computing strategy? Was it... Who discovered this?
The time crystal?
Yeah.
That just says some physicists who are working with Google's supercomputer. Just Google time crystal.
First time crystal built using Google's quantum computer. Nobel Prize winning physicist Frank Will... Not even going to try to say his name. Conceived the idea in 2020. Or 2012. Interesting. Almost 10 years ago. That's a fascinating subject. I'm going to be stuck thinking about that for a while now.
It's one of those things that I'm still very, like, the things that physicists work on is so far beyond me that I wouldn't, like, there's no way I'm going to fully understand, like, how this works or anything like that. But it's just fun to hear what it is, or what we know of it so far, and then just imagining possibilities from there.
Mm-hmm.
Fun for the brain.
It's great to see that we're still learning scientific things and scientific processes, that it's not just a dead practice.
Yes.
Because if you look like... I feel like the scientific discovery rates after the moon landing itself was fairly limited. Although, at the same time, that is still a very tight time frame that we're in.
I mean, it depends on what you believe. So say, hypothetically, we had some technology here that
oh yeah,
we didn't make.
Yeah.
Well, even just looking at how fast we have progressed technology in the last 100 years comparatively to the last 2,000 years of like our known history, it's kind of like, I don't think it's all just humans' brains. I think there's some inspiration.
Someone's
we'll
come down
just
and
leave
given
it
the
that
human
way.
race bardic inspiration. They've sung us their tales and their
Hey,
songs, and they've given us delightful little toys to roll with.
why not though?
That's like a social experiment. Oh, here's a primitive race. Yes, we should give them some of these things and see what they do with it. Oh, delightful! Oh dear, they created a nuclear weapon. It's like, what have we done?
Well, actually, the comparison that I heard that I actually really love was something along the lines of, imagine if we went back in time and dropped off a nuclear reactor in like Victorian England
Yeah.
and then just left it there.
I don't know, man.
Like they would have no idea what it is. They
They're
would, like, the scientists that approached it
pretty
when they
smart people.
exposed the core would die. Yeah.
Pretty
And it's just
brilliant.
like kind of interesting thing about like if there's technology, like, and that's just in the last, what, 300 years, 400 years?
Really is, yeah.
When was Victoria?
Oh, 300 years was George. The one that you
George?
rebelled against.
Excuse me. Dual citizenship does not mean that you can only
All right,
say
yes,
that if
well,
you have a single
my right
citizenship
half.
and it is not here.
I'm just I'm
you're
switching
good half.
I'm switching statuses. It's my relationship's dual now, but my citizenship's single. Does that work? Can you do that? Is it socially conventional?
I don't think
to do
you
that?
can.
No. Okay. But you can
Also, I
marry
cannot
Fridge.
join your game. I can only watch.
Oh, that's because it's not actually a game. I haven't even created a new one yet.
Oh.
I should do that. Here we go. Show hands. But do you know what we should do before this, though?
Take a little break scene.
Yeah,
I actually don't know. That was just a guess.
It is around that good time to do that. The game is up, though. So wenn wir 10. There will be more KeyForge. Yeah. And more banter, but of course, before
And
we...
we'll find some fun stuff to chat about.
Yeah. The rotation of Earth really makes my day.
Rotation of Earth.
The rotation of
Yeah.
Earth
All right.
really makes my day. Oh dear. I meant to hit a button when I did that, but then it just never happened. Hello, we're back. Delightful. Oh, now everyone's comparing their gold, yeah? By 1 chair for every 2 you purchase. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Lily has far more gold than that. Yeah, they've got a lot. Lily's
Oh, and
lying.
Lily doesn't have the gold. Lying little.
Lily's lying!
Maybe Lily shouldn't have shown us their taxes. How much their earnings
I
were.
made them. Okay. Stuck on those chairs.
All right.
Always with the chairs.
They're uncomfortable. Makes my back hurt. Of course I'm stuck on those chairs.
Yeah, you can't
We're
stand up.
sticking in dark time. They're all too big. They're like giant chairs for an owlbear.
They are. Giant, humongous, enormous. English has been betraying me today. Wow.
English is hard.
We are going to keep this hand.
None of my cards are showing up. I'm going to refresh and hope for the best.
Ooh, I really hope it works. Because I got a good opening hand.
No! We're just going to chill a sec. See if they load in. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can say this joke. Has to do with undergarments.
Oh, well, I mean...
How do you catch a bra? With the booby trap.
This is why we're marked mature.
Yay! That's a good joke.
That is a good joke. I enjoy that one. How much does a hipster weigh?
How much does a hipster weigh? 420 pounds.
No. An Instagram.
Damn. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's... Instagram is for hipsters? Am I just this far out of touch with society?
I feel like that's what makes this a dad joke. Is it doesn't care. It doesn't matter what time frame you're in. It's still at one point it was a joke, so to a dad, it's still a joke.
Oof.
Oh, we're gonna... Oh, has it loaded for you yet?
Yes, and I have mulliganed.
Oh.
And I still have equal trash, so I should have said my game doesn't work. Oh no, let's restart.
No!
Ooh, all right. I guess I'm gonna go Unfathomable and play Abyssal Zealot. After you raise the tide, capture 2. After your opponent raises the tide, move 2 Ember from Abyssal Zealot to the common supply.
Okay. Okay. Right. This is interesting.
I believe in you.
Holy snap! That's a fun card. Logos. Look at this. Runes of Archons. Oh, I don't want to actually archive any cards. I was gonna play. I don't know. Oh well, that one. Right. Put 4 Ember on Runes of Archons from the common supply. Archive a card. After a player plays their 6th card in a turn, if Runes of Archons is ready, move each Ember from Runes of Archon to the player's pool.
To that player's pool. So this is either of us. Whoever plays their 6th card.
So you need to play 6 cards. And you have Star Alliance, so it's very possible.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
You know what it means. We're going to play Bilge Warden. Raise the Tide for me. We're going to play Theory or Conjecture. And archive the top 2 cards. We're going to play...
Oh, now he's got archives.
Think twice. Play an action card from your discard pile, then purge it. So we're going to play Theory or Conjecture and archive the top 2 cards again. Then we're going to do
Holy
Mind
smokes.
Bullets. Mind Bullets. Play deal 1 damage to each creature for each card you have played this turn, including this one. So, goodbye everyone. And that's my hand.
Dang.
That's my turn.
Well, I'm going to go Sanctum. I'm going to destroy each creature that does not share a house with at least one of its neighbors and play a Staunch Knight. That is the end of my turn.
Great.
Great.
Okay.
Well, that's great. What did the socks say to the pants?
No idea.
Sup, britches?
Nice. Nice. I like that one. That's good. Okay.
I feel like my bad dad jokes have got dirtier. As I keep scrolling, they just get dirtier and dirtier.
This is... What?
Not good for me.
We're gonna go Untamed. We're not gonna pick up our archive. We're gonna play Old Paddy, but Old Paddy's evil twin, who is discard the bottom card of your opponent's deck, or the top 3 cards, or the bottom 3 cards if the tide is high. Destroy a creature that shares a house with one of the discarded cards.
Ooh.
Then we're gonna do Reap or Sow, and Ready and Reap with Old Paddy. Well, none of them were Sanctum, so you're in the clear. They were all unfathomable creatures. Wow.
All right.
Coop, Volacanthan, Enforcer, all good ones to get rid of.
Ugh. That boy needs to die.
That's my turn.
But we're gonna wait a turn. We're gonna go Star Alliance. Let's see. Oh boy.
I don't know what this deck is, but I want it.
So I'm going to raise the tide.
Okay.
I'm going to choose a creature of each house and destroy each other creature. I'm going to play a non-Star Alliance card. If the tide is high, you may play another Star Alliance card. So we're going to play Storm Surge. Your opponent cannot ready cards during the next ready card step of their next turn.
Okay.
Then we're going to play Lieutenant Kirker on the right and the Mutagenesis Researcher, and I gain 4 Ember.
Snap! Look at that. Good job. Right before I did it.
Whew.
That's incredible. Let's see. Okay. Great. Well, we're gonna do Sanctum because it's the only house in my hand.
Oh boy.
We're not gonna pick up our archive. First, we'll put down Senatorial Sargassa to the left, the evil twin. So after a player raises the tide, they capture 2 from you. Then we will do Almsmaster. Deploy. Each of their neighbors gain destroyed steel 1. But this is also the evil twin.
I'm so jealous you got an evil twin deck.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, because I've got 2 of those boys. So everyone's got destroyed steel 1.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Then we are going to deal 3 damage to Lieutenant Kirkaker and stun him. And do a
Lieutenant Kirkaker.
taxing journey. A friendly creature captures 1. Each of its neighbors that shares a house with it also captures 1. Then we'll do shifting battlefield. Move this one to the left of that one. And that's my turn.
All right, I'm going to go Star Alliance. We're going to run Mutagenesis Researcher into... let's throw him into Sargassa. Nope, we're going to throw him into Old Patty. Going to Reap with Lieutenant Kirkaker and play another Lieutenant Kirkaker.
I was getting rid of his...
Oh, it's just Kirker.
Kirkaker.
Just 2. That is the end of my turn. And I still have a single... Oh, wait, I guess you have captured 4.
I did. I captured 4. The 4 that you so rudely got before I could.
That was fair game. You were just slowpoke.
We what's in our archives?
Freaking 5 cards.
Yeah, I don't want any.
Good lord.
Now. We're gonna go Untamed. First, we're gonna do Washed Away. Play if the tide is high, destroy each artifact. The tide is not high, so we're going to raise the tide. No, we don't want to archives that first off. Raise the tide. Ooh, then we'll Reap with Old Patty. Oh, goody. That one's dead. What I get
Lieutenant Kirker.
Stunner, Operative Espion, and... Okay, good. Rakuzel's Chant. Good cards.
Oof.
Oh. Interesting. We will... Ooh. We will waste not. Destroy friendly creature. Draw cards equal to half of that creature's power, rounding up. Oh wait, no, hang on. Old Patty's almost dead, so let's get another Reap out of him. Ready and Reap with Reap or so. To destroy a Staunch Knight. Then we will... This is rounding up, so we will use Old Patty to draw 3 cards.
Oof.
Play Deepwater Groon. The tide is high for me, so you don't get any, but I get 2. And then play Kegaphant. Each creature gains Reap. Destroy this creature. To the right.
Goodness.
That is my turn. Check I can forge.
Yes, you can. We're going Sanctum.
They are doing quite well.
First things first, we're going to deal 3 damage to each flank. Let's make sure. Actually, we're going to go... Ooh. We're going to purge each creature with the lowest power.
Oh dear. No.
So you should not steal any.
That's the only way to defeat that. You did it. Wow, that was good.
That's why I had to get rid of my little boy, because he had 3 power. Oh boy. It is not looking good. So we're going to do Laurie the Lake. Laurie the Lake on the left. And then the Almsmaster, I'm actually just going to place on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I misplayed this so hard. Oh my gosh. Numquid the Fair on the right. Who is played, destroy an enemy creature. Repeat this card's effect if your opponent still controls more creatures than you. I should have played him first.
Snap. Yeah, yeah.
So let's destroy Sargassa. Yep. We're then going to raise the tide.
More
And I'm
armor.
going to deal 3 damage to each flank creature.
Delightful.
That is the end of my turn.
Good.
You forge.
Good. I do. That's my first key there. Do. Okay, that's fun enough to justify this. Right, we're going to go Logos. We're going to take our archives. We are first going to play backup plan. For each creature you have in access to me, I archive the top card of my deck.
Oof.
It was good timing.
Good lord.
Then we are going to put
that deck has so much archive.
A static charge on your Laurie of the Lake. So their neighbors take 2 damage each turn at the start of your turn. Put down the Mecha
So
Buoy.
it just nixes their armor.
For now. Mecha Buoy. At the start of each player's turn, if the tide is high, that player gains 1. Right. Then we are going to put down a Zinzizen Zinzizenzik on the left. If they're in the center of the battle line, I refill my hand with 2 additional cards. Put down an armor drone on the left there. Evil twin. When they fight, I steal 2.
Good lord.
Then we will... What cards did I archive? Okay. Good to know. Right. An Eddie 4x4 on the left. I get to archive a card.
Ooh, you're going to draw 2 additional cards. Nice.
Wait, what?
You put your Zenzik in the middle.
Oh, yeah, I did. I was confused. I'm like, why am I drawing cards right now? I'm not.
At the end of your turn.
Oh
my good lord, my key costs 9.
They do. They cost 9 right now.
That they do.
Then we will raise the tide.
Nice.
Get rid of that armor. And that is... Hang on, can I get rid of this? No, there's no way for me to get rid of it. Yeah, that's my turn.
Well, I'm going to go... Let's see. Unfathomable. Going to go ahead and raise the tide. Alright, we're going to play Kaup on the right. Your opponent cannot play more than 1 card of each type, or each card type, each turn. Going to play a Flame Gala Enforcer on the right, and then a Horrid Scion Poison on the right. That is the end of my turn.
Good. Good. Just delightful. I am going to go Logos. No, I don't want to pick up that. I will, surprise, surprise, raise the tide. and then use my armor drone to fight your cope and steal 2.
Oof.
And we're gonna reap with. Oh shoot! That's right. Each creature that reaps dies.
No.
Super awkward. Okay. Well, I don't want to reap with him anymore. And I don't want to fight with him. Well, I mean, Pie Swevin. I'll play that. That creature down. Reap, if the tide is high, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. That's an evil twin. There's a lot of evil twins in this deck.
Yeah, like the whole deck has. Seems like most of the creatures are evil twins.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen maybe 4 or 5 that are not.
Well, that's going to be... Yeah, that has to be my turn.
All right. Let's see. Oh, you destroyed my power 3, boy.
I did. Well, you did, technically.
Ha 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 ha. Hmm.
A check I can forge.
All right, I'm gonna go Star Alliance. Let's see. I'm going to choose a creature of each power value. Choose a creature of each power value. Destroy each creature not chosen. So we're going Pie Swevin.
Yeah.
Larry the Lake will survive. Horrid Sinan shall survive. Let's see. Your Deep-Rotted Gruin can live another day. And Flamegill Enforcer.
Yikes. Yikes.
Going to deploy Professor Emeritus Kering. Play Fight Reap. Use one of Prof. Kering's neighbors if the tide is high. Also, you've used their other neighbor. So, let's go ahead and raise the tide. To play Kering, we're going to deploy left of... I meant to deploy left of Flamegill Enforcer to use both Lord of the Lake and Flamegill Enforcer. Can I go manual and redo this?
Yeesh.
Cancel the prompt. I shouldn't have gained anything for that.
No, you didn't.
Nope, cool. So go in manual mode, or turning manual mode off. So now we deploy left. There we go. All right, so we're going to use Laurie the Lake to fight and kill Deepwater Gruin. And then we're using Flamegill Enforcer to kill Pie Swevin. And then we're playing Rocketeer Triska on the left, who, while the tide is high, Rocketeer Triska's neighbors enter play ready, and I draw a card, and I actually drew Science Officer Quincan.
Good grief.
Who I'm going to use to reap. That is the end of my turn. I have so much chain.
Indeed. This is a yikes.
He says with 2 forged keys.
I do. Don't necessarily have the best way to bounce back. I've got a decent way. It's a decent
9 cards
way.
at your disposal. I believe in you.
The problem is, it's gonna give you a key. That's fine. Sanctum. There you go. Have a key. Hey, you're at 666 right now. Oh dear. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh boy.
That's not good. We're gonna put down a... well, yes, we're gonna pick up our archive first off. Gorm of Om, which is Omni, destroy Gorm of Om and destroy an artifact. How delightfully wonderful.
Oh, you can destroy the ruins of the Arcanist.
I can.
Bring it back.
Radiant Truth, stun each enemy creature not on flank. Boop. Then we're going to do a Hammergram. Science Officer Kincan, you've got a Hammergram, I believe.
A Hammergram? Deal 3 damage.
Yeah. Wait, what's my other one? Logos is definitely. Not Untamed. Yeah. Kincan. Kincan dies.
Rip Kincan. Dove.
We're going to put down Hold Fast. After one of Hold Fast's neighbors is dealt damage, ready Hold Fast. Bulwark on the left. You're very familiar with Bulwark and his work. And Lightsmith Clariel, but the evil twin. Switch a creature's power and armor for the remainder of the turn.
That's pretty cool.
On the left there.
Is that an evil twin?
Evil
I
twin.
can't see it yet.
It's an evil twin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the original one swaps their own power and armor. That's right.
That's
pretty
turn.
Cool. Ooh. You decided to take that 8 chain, huh?
I sure did.
All right. I guess with oh, you took your archives.
I did.
Oh boy. So I think you're only drawing up to 4 cards right now.
Nope,
Same as me.
3.
You're only drawing up to 3 cards?
I only drew 3 cards.
Ah, ha, ha.
So I said this is probably going to be rough to bounce back with. Or bounce back from.
Yeah. And is that your turn, or do you have more?
Oh, snap. That is my turn. Oh no, 4. There we go. There! I just didn't end my turn. I'm an idiot.
Alright, we're playing Sanctum. We're going to play 2 Hammergrams to kill Hold Fast.
No! Hold fast! No!
Then we're playing General Zalzador on the right,
Zalfy Zal!
who has a capture 1.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. You want to capture 1. And then we're going to move a friendly creature anywhere in its controller's battle line. We're going to move General Zalvador to the left of that boy, and he's getting sandwiched. And he's going to capture 1. That is the end of my turn. You gain an amber.
I did, because you didn't take any chain.
I did not.
Right, Untamed. I am going to do a beach day and return Bulwark to my hand.
Beach day!
We're then going to do infighting. Each creature deals damage equal to its power to its right neighbor.
Oof.
That should thin down the lines a little bit.
Oof.
Then we're going to put down a Flumph. Because why not? Flumph. Then we'll do the Fittest to give each friendly creature +1 power counter. And we'll use the Gorm of Om to destroy the runes of Arcanus.
Nice.
That's my turn.
Alright, I'm going Starlines. Going to remove the stun. Soak up some chain to raise the tide. Hey, look it. You now have
I'm at the
666.
666. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, how
And
the
we're going to
tides
play
turn.
together. Together, you may play 1 non-Starlines card. If the tide is high, you may play another Starlines card.
Huh.
That card has a capture, so I'm going to capture 1 onto Rocketeer Triska.
Very good.
Let's see. We're then going to play. Let's play Numquid the Fair. Destroy an enemy creature. Repeat this card's effect if your opponent still controls more creatures than you. Going to play them on the right to destroy Lightsmith. Oh crap! I meant to damage Floomp and then destroy. Oh well. Let's see, and then I get to play one more non-Starlance card. Let's see. We're going to move a friendly creature anywhere in its controller's battle line. We're going to move Numquid the Fair to the left of General Zalzbador. The General is going to... Oh, I'm not even Starlance. I just got so used to using my Starlance cards. Or, sorry, Sanctum. Got so used to playing my Sanctum cards, I thought I was them. Alright, well, that's the end of my turn. I stopped your forge.
Effective, okay, yeah.
At what cost? At what cost?
Well, well, well. What have we here? Syndicate. I'm really scared. I don't know what to do. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna do... we're gonna do Sanctum. We're gonna do Sanctum. We're gonna put down Bulwark to the left here. We're going to put down a Seneschal Sargassa to the left there. And then we're gonna do a Hammergram! And beat the Living Daylights out of... that one.
Not Numquid the Fair. He was so fair.
Numquid the Fair is gone. Forever.
He's dead.
Dead. Killed. Removed from everything. That was my Khajiit has wares for you. I think that's probably it. I don't know.
You know you
if
want
I
to raise that
the
tide.
I don't know if I want to. I'm fairly sure I don't. I think I just want to give you the one.
Oh, you're going to give me one? That's so kind.
Well, you know what? I mean, nah.
Well, I'm going to go Unfathomable and raise the tide at no cost.
Well, you suck.
And your opponent cannot ready cards during the next ready card step of their next turn. Yeah, I might as well concede because I cannot gain Amber. I'm only drawing 4 cards and they are not the cards I need.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're doing fine, man. You're doing fine. Untamed.
At least I came out swinging.
Raise the tide. Fight with Skirmish against the Rocketeer. Give that beast more power. And then return a creature to its owner's hand. Gain a thingy. And here's a Kangafant on the right.
Oh boy. Well, there's not a whole lot I can do. Other than, you know, raise the tide. Going to play
So much
General Zalzbador, who's going to capture. Laurie the Lake on the left. And right in between the two, we're going to play Almsmaster. Play each of Almsmaster's neighbors for 1. And that is the closest I could get you.
Oh, snap.
GG's.
Did it. Managed to produce enough.
Indeed.
Oh, I got Runes of the Arcanus again. Neither of us were going to be able to do that anytime soon. Play 6 cards in one turn.
Nope.
That amount of chain. Oh, heavens no.
Yeah. That was the high chain game.
I was. I got up to 10.
As usual, you have taken the Unfathomable games. Or set.
I have. Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, you started off strong. Where'd the magic go?
I started off the day strong. I'm still building up your ego, man.
You're waiting for
Like
the
I
end.
said, we're still in that phase.
You're
Yeah.
sandwiching it. This is a thick
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Stacked high.
Very
It's like a
thick.
triple cheeseburger.
Double of 7 of your wins to the 2 buns of mine.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Got any other random factoids?
Yeah, what do you call a fish with 2 knees? A 2-knee fish. That's a pretty bad one.
Okay. Okay, that was a pretty bad one. Why did the girl smear peanut butter on the road?
Because she's dumb. I don't know.
To go with the traffic jam.
Oh, that was a rough one. What is a windmill's favorite music?
A windmill's favorite music.
Yep.
The pipe, a windpipe.
They're metal fans. Got him.
Yeah, uh-huh. That's a good, yeah, uh-huh. I enjoyed that one. Archaeology. Really is a career in ruins.
Had to give you a face palm for that one. That was a good one. I feel like that's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
What is the hard? What? That's the what?
It's the one that you when like one of those kids graduating from high school asks you, "What career should I go for?" You should say, "Well, definitely not archaeology. That's just a career in ruins."
That's a good one. All right, I'll have to remember that. I'm probably gonna forget it, but dang it, I'll try. You should actually know this one, being part English. What kind of tea is the hardest to swallow?
I don't know. What is it?
Reality.
Ooh. Ooh. It's always steeped too long. But then again,
usually yes.
Sometimes it's not steeped enough.
And other times you just get some hot water. You're like, what?
Oh, random news actually. Did you know they're making a movie about time?
Movie about time.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. No. What's this movie about time?
Well, I mean, I thought it was about time, but it's not. That one kind of got away,
Oh
so
my God.
we're gonna move on.
How do snails fight?
Sluggishly.
Yep, they slug it out.
Oh snap!
There you go.
You can't.
Oh my God! What is Forrest Gump's email password? Forrest one.
Forrest one. I know that one. Yeah. Did you know you can't run through campsites?
Oh, I've heard this one. You can't run through campsites. Crap, I don't remember this one.
You can only ran. It's past tense.
Ah, dang it! I knew I had to do something with tense. Well played. All right. 3 fish are in the tank. One asks the others, "How the heck do you drive this thing?"
Little do they know,
Yeah,
it's
that-
just a display tank. Yeah. Hey, did you hear about the kidnapping at school? It was fine in the end. He
No.
woke up.
What's the worst part about being an egg? You only get laid once. All right. On that note.
That
Oh my
is.
God.
Oh man.
Oh,
Well, shall we?
Yes. Let's take it back to the.
Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
wait, are we just playing the next one back? Or are we playing the first?
I actually didn't set up any of the stuff. I just clicked in and went for the best. Back one.
All right.
Shall we? Shall we go back one? Or let's
Go.
make it interesting and roll a d4.
Sounds good. Give me that
My life.
one.
My life rolls around dice. Wow. Revolves around dice.
I work with
2.
someone who's as addicted to dice as you, and that is the worst expansion. Throw that dice in the throwaway bin.
Do you want to do Call of Archons? We can do Call of Archons. We can
No,
go
the dice
from
has
the
spoken.
newest- Well, do you know what you do to dice that don't behave? You put them in
You
the trader
put them in
jar,
the trash. Oh,
and then they spend 6 weeks in jail until they're ready to come out again and possibly play well. If they don't, they get put back in and they serve another cycle.
I would melt all of them down and then create new dice out of the ashes of all of them.
Yeah, I don't have the supplies or equipment to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't either. So I'd get the first step done, and then I'd probably just stop there.
Like, all right, well, they're
leave-
gone.
Just create a single ball of whatever it is.
Oh dear.
How do you
I
make
did want-
holy water?
Ooh.
You boil the hell out of it.
I was gonna say you punch it.
Nope, it's simpler than that. I'm just not good with like synonyms and other things you need to be like my vocabulary and synonyms are not great. I feel like if you're good with those two, then you're really good with dad jokes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I've got a fun one here. Why do choirs keep buckets handy?
Why do choirs keep buckets handy?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I am horrible at guessing these. I don't know.
So they can carry their tune.
That one has to be from like the 1600s, because oh my god, it's that bad.
You have to know this one. I'm positive you know this one. Just watched a documentary about beavers.
Something about wood, something hard, something about eating. I don't know.
None of those. Best damn show I've ever seen.
No! Ah!
Something about dams would have been acceptable.
Yeah, what did the fish say when it swam into the wall?
Ouch.
Something it said damn.
Damn. Oh.
I mean damn. Something about dams would have been acceptable.
Something about... Oh dear. Oh dear.
All right. Screw the tide.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to 2020, the good old days. Oh, and I have dis.
Me too. Oh, dis. Oh, dis. Back to the good old days when you mulligan and you get the cards that you wanted to mulligan away back into your hand.
I mean, I get that regardless of the expansion. Oh boy.
That's true. Oh boy. Oh, you're going first.
Yes, I am.
We should do some more.
Gonna keep hand and going to start with the powerhouse that is the Staunch Knight.
Oh, snap. Snap, crackle, pop. Right. We are going to go this. We're going to put down a Pit Demon, which is an action steel one. And Key Hammer. Yeah. No way, really? Does it give you the hammer no matter what? I would have totally discarded it. It does. It gives you the hammer no matter what. Wow.
We can go manual and act as if you discarded that if you would like.
Holy snap! I thought that was if you do, but no, it's just straight
Would you like
up.
to go manual and remove all our amber?
Yeah.
Because you gave me a key on turn 2.
My very first turn.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I can unforge a key. Oh,
No,
there we go. The prompt was still up for me.
Skepti requests
right.
to forge the blue key. Allow? No.
It's giving me the prompt again. I'm gonna go back to manual because I don't think I can
Interesting.
cancel this prompt. Oh, actually, so if I select the blue key, I can't cancel the prompt. So I'm gonna select the blue key, but then I'm gonna see if I can.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Problem
I
solved.
think we fixed it. Excellent.
Excellent.
Let's go House Dis. Gonna throw down a Lash of Broken Dreams.
Oh, I love that card.
We're also going to give Staunch Knight Flame Wreathed, who gets +2 power and Hazardous 2. And then Gabos Longarms. Before fight, choose a creature. Gabos Longarms deals damage to... Well, choose a creature. Gabos Longarms deals damage to that creature rather than the one it is fighting. Going to play that on the right.
Huh.
We are going to deal 3 damage to a creature. If it is not destroyed, its owner discards a random card from their hand.
Oh, okay.
Discards Feeding Pit. Discard a creature from your hand if you do gain 1. All right. That's something. That is the end of my turn. Check. I have 2 amber. Just
Yeah,
want to make
that's
sure
good.
you're aware of that.
Good, good,
Yep.
good, good.
Better to
good.
over-communicate than under-communicate.
This is true. This is very true. Righty. Oh. This sucks. Right, you discarded the card I really wanted to play. So we are going to put down
Huzzah.
an Ixlix Marauder to the left. Then we are going to go whack at your Gabos Longarms and stun it. That is my turn.
Ooh.
We are done. El fin.
All right. Well, I'm going to go Brobnar.
Oh dear. Brobdignagian.
Going to play Bumpsy and make you lose 1.
You.
I'm then going
beautiful
to ready and fight with a friendly creature. Bumpsy against Pit Demon. And if you have 7 or more, we're going to make you lose 4.
person. I don't have any.
No, you do not. I would say sorry, but it would be a lie. Dude, that key hammer at the beginning of the game was so funny.
It was rather hilarious.
You're just like, yeah, that's how you want to play? Here's your key.
Have a key. It's free. That's all I do. I play a card and I reap with a card. That's it. That's all I can do. It's your turn.
That it is. So we're gonna go Sanctum. Going to play Raiding Knight on the right.
Okay.
Going to play Champion Tabrice Tabris on the right.
Yep.
Then we're going to fight with Staunch Knight. He's elusive, son of a gun. Well, let's kill the Marauder.
Aww.
And for the heck of it, let's throw down a second Raiding Knight.
Oh no! I don't
That
have
is
any
the end of
armor
my
for
turn.
you to capture.
Logos. We're going to play down library access. Library access. Well,
Library.
That's just pointless. Twin bolty missions. Gabus long
Not
arms,
both of
because
them.
it's the only one that can actually get damaged. And the raiding knights. Get rid of some of that armor at least. Ooh, hello, wild wormhole. What are we playing? Ooh, Skewer. If your opponent has 4 or more, steal 1. That goes to the left. Wonderful, great. Novu Archivist on the right. It's an action archive a card from your discard pile. We'll play down another Novu Archivist on the right. Sure, great. Doc Bookton on the right. Great, delightful, dandy, swell. Cool. That's my turn.
Alright, we're gonna go Sanctum. Oh
It was
boy.
rather unsatisfying that turn. Not very much happened. Oh, I did get people on the field. That's good.
That you did. That you did. Alright, so I'm gonna use Raiding Knight to fight against Novu Archivist. Use the other knight to fight against Novu Archivist. Use Champion Tabri to fight against Doc Bookton. And use Staunch Knight to fight against Jeweler. And then we're going to heal
Cleansing wave.
1 damage from
Yeah.
each creature. Gain 1 for each creature healed this way. That is the end of my turn. Check I can
I
forge.
really should just concede.
This deck right now is just drawing very well against what you're drawing.
It's doing a lot better than I would like it to be doing. That's for sure. Great. That's great. Your armor is so annoying. I forgot how annoying the Sanctum house is pre-expansions. Like the armor
So much
rate on
armor
it
on
is just
every creature.
near. Oh, it's so bad.
It really is.
Okay. We are going to play Mothership. For each friendly ready Mars creature, deal 2 damage to a creature.
Ooh.
The Gabus Longarm's the only one I can actually do anything to. Everyone else has ridiculous amounts of armor. Zinzin's the Think Drone to the left. And we will do a Zorg to the right. They come and play stunned. But I will Reap with John Smith to ready Zorg to remove Zorg's stun. That's my turn. Have fun with your forge.
Well, I'm going to go blue and go Sanctum.
I'm blue.
And I'm going to reap down the line. And check I can forge.
I can't do anything about that. Yeah, there's...
Jack shit. I can do about that.
Great. Well, instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go Mars again. It's an agent. I'm going to put down an Ulig Megamouth on the left. And a John Smith on the right. And we are going to... fight with Zorg against this raiding knight. Reap with John Smith to ready our Zorg again.
Ooh.
And fight with Zorg against... yeah, Tiberius. That way they die. And we will reap and archive that one. That's my turn.
Check, I can forge.
And you do forge.
All right. I do forge my red key. We go dis, where I'm making your keys cost +3. Moving the
Oof.
stun, and then
Oof.
destroy each disc creature. Each player gains 1 amber for each creature they control that was destroyed this way.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
And that is the end of my turn.
Well, we're going dis. We're not picking up our archives. We're going to play Tendrils of Pain. Deal 1 damage to each creature. Deal an additional 3 damage to each creature if your opponent forged a key their previous turn. You're not dead. Because you have a ridiculous amount of
I
armor.
didn't forge.
You did.
Oh. Oh, the previous turn?
You did. You forged the previous turn. You forged the past 2
Oh,
turns.
we're on turn 7. Good
We are.
lord.
That's my turn. That's all I can do. It's all up to you.
Well, going Sanctum. Gonna play the Gatekeeper on the right. Capture all but 5 of your amber.
Of course.
Remove the stun. Whoops, sorry. And use Staunch Knight to fight and kill Pit Demon.
Of course. Yep.
The boy who lives. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear. That Staunch Knight is just still
Yeah,
alive.
this is a rough game. This is very
This is-
one-sided with these decks.
Incredibly painful.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you got the next 2 games pretty much in the bag.
That won't even do it. Let's see. Nope. Ah, well, let's give it a good shot. We'll go with this. Nah, we won't do that. We're going to play Arise and choose this. Put all those in my discard pile to my lovely, lovely hand. Here comes a Schuler. Here comes a Schuler. Here
Oh,
comes
I'm
a
so glad I didn't have 4
Demon.
more.
Here comes another Pit Demon.
Oof.
Don't think it matters because it doesn't ready them. There you go. That's my turn.
Alright, going Brobnar.
So Brabdik Nagin.
Going to play Bumpsy. Your opponent loses 1. Going to play Headhunter on the right. And Valdir on the right. And then we're going to deal 4 damage to Middle Pit Demon with the 2 damage splash.
Very good.
And that is the end of my turn.
Delightful.
Delightful.
Let's see. Well, I mean... logos. Crap. We'll play Wild Wormhole. And put a Tonk down on the left, I guess. Seems like a great idea. Just a dandy
Excellent.
one. Swell. Swell. Just swell. We'll do reverse time and replace my discard pile with my deck.
That's crazy.
Do Quixo the Adventurer on the
That's
left,
pretty cool.
and the Ganymede Archivist on the left. That's my turn.
That was nuts. All right.
It was nuts.
Well, it's time for me to go dis. First, going to increase the cost.
Yep.
We're then going to return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. Going to be a pit demon. Return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. Quixo the Adventurer. And play the Terror. If you have no Amber, I gain 2.
I have 6 Ember.
That is the end. Yeah, but your keys cost 9.
9, I know.
9!
9! Okay.
Oh, hey, look. Gatekeeper has that difference.
Yep.
What a beautiful
Gatekeeper
boy.
sure does. Well, we are going to go with this. No, we don't want to pick up our archive. We will put down Pit Demon on the right. We will use our Shula to... Oh dear. Fight! Let's see. You're raiding knight. Oh, Shula didn't die. That's awkward. This Shula... That's not awkward. That's good. I thought they were going to die. Oh! Okay. Against Headhunter. And I mean, we're just going to use this action and steal 1. And then we use this to use Tonks to fight your Gatekeeper. And then we'll use this to use Ganymede Archivist to reap, I do believe. Yes, reap and archive. Yes, this one. That'll be my turn. I believe I've done everything I can do. Let me just double check. Yes. That's me. Jack, I can forge.
Gonna go
For
this and make your keys expensive.
Yep.
Then we're gonna use the Terror to fight against Pit Demon. They both die.
That makes sense.
And use the Hand of Dis to destroy a creature that is not on a flank to destroy Tunk.
Oh dear. Not Tonk.
And that is the end of my turn.
Well,
You forge at a cost of 9!
I forge at a cost of fucking 9.
Look at you go, man.
Right.
Be proud of that key. You worked. Worked hard.
Took me forever.
It did.
Right, we are going to... Yeah, we'll go... Shoot! Mars! Fine. Yes, we'll take the archive.
Mars!
We'll
It is time.
take the... No, we're going to discard that card. I don't want any chain. I'll stun all your boys, but I don't want chain. Play a John Smith. Put down an Ulig Megamouth on the right.
Ooh,
Put
boy.
down the feeding pits.
Hey, look. That was in your discard pile.
It was. Then
Well,
that's
we're
what my
gonna go
discard pile in
dis,
my
and
hand.
I'm actually gonna help you here.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
gonna help you to forge 2 keys. All right, so we're going to raise the cost to 9, and I'm gonna unforge your current key and give you 6. But look, just think of it this way, man. Next turn, you get to forge. Okay, not
fucking
next turn.
suck.
Maybe the
You
turn.
suck.
You get to forge. I've had that in my hand for like 6 turns. I was like, oh boy, I can make him burn away 3 amber.
Oh my
Huzzah.
goodness, that is rough. Right, well then fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna go dis, and you know what? We're going to use our Shula to fight Staunch Knight, who has enough fucking hazardous to kill him.
Yeah, they're
Action.
too hazardous.
Yep, I forgot about that. That's okay. We've got a rise, and we choose dis, and we're going to make you unforge.
Oh my gosh.
You should unforge your key. If they
think
unforge
it's-
their previous turn, only if they unforge. That is the stupidest card ever.
That's why I hung on
That
to it
is
for the
a
longest.
rough card. Well,
I'm just gonna let that one play unless you really want to take it back and just end the game there,
I mean,
because that's a free forge.
give me one of those. Give me one of those. Here's another
Ooh,
pit demon.
look at all that amber.
Toxin on the right. What does Toxin do? Reap if your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Very good. Very good.
Nice.
We are going to use the Dominator Ball, to use Ulik Megamouth, to Reap with Ulik Megamouth, to use Ganymede Archivist.
Good lord.
I believe it's going to be to Reap with Ganymede Archivist. Yes, to Reap with Ganymede Archivist. To archive that one. And we'll use... Dominator Bubble. To use John Smith. To Reap with John Smith. To ready Ulik Megamouth.
Good lord.
Oh, it just readies Ulik Megamouth. I can't actually Reap with them because I'm not in Mars.
That's
Okay,
just ready.
I did take enough to stop you and stop your forge.
That
and
you
I
did.
am at 15 Ember. So you're saying there's a chance? You've got Doorstep to Heaven, don't you?
I really wish I did.
Oh, snap.
No, I don't. We're gonna go Brobnar.
Rob Dignagian.
There's actually no way for me to. Let's see. So I'm gonna fight against Pit Demon, fight against Pit Demon, play down a Mugwump on the right, and then we're going to stun a creature and each of its neighbors. Gonna stun Ganymede Activist and each of its neighbors.
Good choice.
That is the end of my turn.
Okay.
Well, you get your key at cost of 6.
I do. Biscuits. Great big soggy biscuits. Right, we are gonna do loads.
You're gonna come back and take this game out from under me.
Let's see if I do. This will be nuts if I do. I get rid of that stun. Novu Archivist action. Archive a card from your discard pile. Doc Bookton on the left. Reap, draw a card. Quicksow the Adventurer on the right. Skirmish, fight, draw a card. Twin Bolty Missions. That one and that one.
Ooh.
That, I think, is the turn I can do. Yep. That's me.
All right, so this is. Oh my god. You're actually going to take this game away from me with your battle line here. What do I have here? Ooh, okay. We're going to go Sanctum. Play Raiding Knight on the right. Who's play Capture 1. Hollowed Blaster. We're going to discard Epic Quest. And then play Gorm of Om. And then I'm going to Reap. Check I can forge. You get to forge your third key of the game!
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm so proud.
Oh, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. Mars. No, we do not want to. We are going to put down an Ixilo Marauder on the left, and they capture 2 for the 2 readied Mars creatures I have in play.
Oh, nice.
We will then get rid of their stuns. And put down a Zorg on the right. They enter play stunned. They stun the creature and the neighbors of the creature that they fight. Vexima Think Drone on the left. Reap, you may archive a friendly creature or artifact. A John Smith on the right. Elusive Reap ready non-Mars creature. And we will discard a card creature from my hand to gain 1.
Oh my goodness. Oh, how far we've come.
Oh, this shit's
Oh,
moving
boy.
around.
Well, we're going Sanctum. We're going to destroy Gorm of Om to destroy the Feeding Pit.
Shit.
Use the Hollowed Blaster to heal Staunch Knight. 3 damage off a Staunch Knight.
They've been out in the field since the beginning.
Remainder of the turn. Yes. For the remainder of the turn, each friendly creature cannot be dealt damage.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Going to Reap with Raiding Knight, Reap with Staunch Knight, and then play Sergeant Zakiel. So I'm going to ready and fight with Raiding Knight. I think we're going to kill Mr. Megamouth.
Ah.
That is the end of my turn. Check I can forge.
All right. I only have 1 play I can do. And I saved the card just for it. Drumble. Elusive. Play. If your opponent has 7 or more amber, capture all of it.
Oof.
Okay. Pit Demon on the left. We are going to just try our best. Cancel that. Reap to make you discard a card. Gauntlet of Command. Interesting.
Oof.
Let's see. It would be a ready and non-agent Mars creature. Oh, Quixo lets me draw a card.
So does Doc Bookton.
So does Doc Bookton, you're right. Right, Quixo, you're only 3 power. You wouldn't actually kill anyone. But do your job against Mugwump. That was a pointless card. Use this one on oh, is that an action? That is an action. Yeah, action. Archive that card. Reap. Reap. Oh, that would be silly. That would be harming my... Yeah, discard that. I'm not gonna deal a single damage, especially when you've got Cleansing Wave. Check I can forge.
Yes, you can. We're going Dis, playing a
yeah.
Charlotte on the right. And Sacrificial Altar, and we might as well make the keys expensive. I think at this point, I'm just breathing through a straw, and inevitably, I'm going to. I choked this game so hard because I wanted to fuck with you and unforge your key. Instead of pushing to forge my last key, I pushed to unforge your first key.
I even gave you 6 Ember.
Yes, you did.
Okay, we are going to
This game is full of
go-
chokes on both sides, though.
It is full of chokes on both sides. Oh, good at that. Let's play Wild Wormhole. Mind Warper, very nice. Let's play another Wild Wormhole. Everyone got stunned and I got 2 chain. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh my gosh.
Very, very
That's
nice.
unfortunate.
That is a rough biscuit. Now I can't use any of my boys. Oh, that is a rough. Because no,
neither can I.
I should have used my people first before doing that. Snap. Oh well. And here comes a Dexter. He'll capture that 1 Ember you have. I think that's my turn.
All right, we're going Sanctum. Or yeah, we're going Sanctum. Let's see here. How do I want to play this? All right, we're going to archive each friendly night creature.
Interesting, okay. I know that card.
Then going to play Gatekeeper. And then we're going to play Raiding Knight, who's also going to capture 1.
Oh my goodness, why?
We're going to heal 3 damage from Mugwump.
Oh dear. I don't even know how many of those we have. Well, we are going to go ahead and go Mars. Pick up our archives, do Mothership support, deal 2 damage to a creature for each Mars creature we have. I don't know how many Mars creatures I have. So
I think
I'm just
that's
gonna
10, 12 damage.
keep... There we go. That was a Whomp. Ulig Megamouth on the
Whomp.
left. We'll then do Squawker to ready Ulig Megamouth. We'll use Mind Warper. No, never mind. We'll just reap with Mind Warper. You don't have any Ember on you. Yeah. Yeah. Get rid of that stun.
So many creatures. I need Gateway to Dis like 3 days ago.
Yeah. I think that's everything. Check I can forge.
All right.
I have 20
We're
Ember.
Gonna go Dis.
I believe in you.
We're going to not take the archives. We're going to purge raiding knight to play gatekeeper.
What? What?
Make your keys cost +3. We're also going to return an enemy creature to its owner's hand. Let's return. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There are so many dudes.
Somebody
Return Dexter to your hand.
Oh, Dexter's the most annoying one.
We're then going to deal 3 damage to a creature.
Oh snap.
And that is the end of my turn.
Okay. We'll go dis. No, we're good on that. Pandemonium. Each undamaged creature captures 1 from its opponent.
Oh, my God. I need the board wipe like 3 days
You
ago.
really need a board wipe.
I have no board wipes in this deck. This is GG.
This has been intense, just back and forth constantly.
I felt bad for the first half of the game, but this second half has been so much fun because it has been neck and neck. That's the stuff I enjoy.
Jeez, am I still selecting?
Yep, that's 9 boys you need to select there, my dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're all stunned. So they lose their stuns. Because of that really unlucky wild wormhole. Hey,
Yep.
guess what we're not gonna play?
You should. Now's the time to do it.
No, it's not.
You've had that card 3 times.
I sure have.
But you gain an amber.
That's true. Gonna use my Ulig Megamouth to reap with him, to use my Doc Bookton to reap with that. And then I will use my thingy thing to... yeah, use Zorg to fight with him against the Gatekeeper.
Let's go ahead and concede right there.
All right, 24. I think that's the highest we've got in the Ember. while showing the world.
It's the highest we've got it in a while.
It is, yeah.
I remember the broken days of bait and switch with your that spider.
Yeah. Ooh.
That captures all the
got in
amber
the
because you bait and
30s.
switch with old bait and switch. The good
Yeah.
old days.
Oh, the good old days. Back when everything was dandy and lovely, and bait and switch was fucking overpowered.
Yep.
Oh well, that one lasted a while. How many turns did that go?
That was
18.
in the 20s. 18. I could have
18
won that
turns.
so early on had I focused on forging my key and not focused on trying to cuck you. That's what I get. It's karma.
That
That
wild
is-
comeback.
that's
I
a
didn't have
karma.
any keys when you got to 5 Ember, having 2 keys forged.
Yep. And then you just threw down 9 beasties that I was like, I couldn't touch.
Stop. Can't touch me. Where is it? I think it was turn 13. Yeah, turn 13's when everything turned around.
Do. I will not allow a rematch. I'm leaving this game.
That's actually about time. That is the good old marker point almost.
That was the first game in Age of Ascension, wasn't it?
It was. It was. I denied you the
All right.
sandwich.
Denied the sandwich. That's my own fault. I did this to myself. I accept it.
You fought hard. You fought hard at least.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we
let's see.
tried.
Tried so hard and got so. Anyway, before we get any strikes and that stuff, right?
Well, thanks for
announcements.
gaming today.
Yeah, it's fun, enjoyable. It's always good
Yeah.
to find an excuse to sit down and just play a little KeyForge.
KeyForge, it was good conversation,
Mhm.
some good bad jokes. It was a good time.
Really good bad jokes. Those are great. Few things to announce. Oh, excuse me, I've become all burpy all of a sudden. To you all, you wonderful human beings, tomorrow is Here Be Shenanigans. We're going to do a little more Tron, and then we will figure out. We might actually go to Pico Pico, which is another multiplayer game. I think he's dancing with his wife. I think his wife's dancing in the background. Or was that just him dancing?
I'm celebrating your announcements.
Oh, delightful. All right, yeah, celebrating the entire way through. Other than that, there's Nightbane and then Tales of Andrea, as always, going on Sunday and Saturday and Sunday. Let's do it in order, shall we? And Tuesday is the premiere of the wonderful Into the Nightmare, DM'd by Von. I'll be one of the players in that. Yay, I get to play. The Forever DM gets to be a character. Yay! Big note, next week, Wednesday, the Albarian's going to be helping a group partake in a charity show. Or not a charity show, it's just a charity drive. It's a 24-hour charity event. We'll be doing some more additional streaming during that time, but other than that, I think we'll also be doing some hosting of everyone else as they do their stream. Essentially, it's going to be 24 hours pushing for a common goal for children's hospitals in the local areas where we are. It's called the Extra Life. You might have heard of it from here and there. They're pretty good. By pretty good, I mean they're a good charity and they're fun to work with, so... Bunch of gamers uniting for charity. Delightful. That's happening next week, Wednesday. I'll have more details as the week goes by, and I have the chance to deliver all those. If you would like to do a pre-meal and all that stuff, you can join on the Wednesday. The link is inside our description area for all that. The goal is set to a basic goal right now. We haven't fully decided on what we're going to try to drive to, but we're going to do our best. Raise money for charity. That's what we want to do. Isn't that lovely?
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Delightful. Just wonderful. Regular programming will be happening that day, so playing with mutts, still going on. We'll just be minding ourselves a whole lot more. Language! All that aside, all that spewed out, it's been wonderful. This is Skeptical Raccoons. Next week we'll be off for Skeptical Raccoons, and something different will be coming back in with some more World War Z. So for now, we will see you all tomorrow at 6 MDT for some shenanigans. We love you all. Bye.
Toodaloo.
Yeah, may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.